Hey friends, we're so glad you're here and have tuned into So, What Makes You Come Alive podcast. We're your hosts, Gabe the Girl
and Michaela McGee, and we're here to explore what it would look like to take ownership of and change the narratives of our lives to live a life fully alive.
Got it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are so excited to be back for yet another episode, and Gabe gets to introduce our friend this week.
Yes. So this is my friend Greg. Greg and I met in Virginia in the Hampton Roads area, the city of Newport News, if any of you Virginians are out there. And Greg and I met just as COVID restrictions were kind of lifting in our area after the first year. Would you say it was about the first year, that first wave? Mm-hmm. So we got some good outdoor time because that's about all we could do at that time. And then since then, we've had a few adventures here and there together, which has been really great. But I'm super excited to have Greg here today to tell us all about him and share a bit of his story with us. So Greg, could you just give us a little introduction to who you are, where you're from, kind of what you're about?
Sure, absolutely. Well, like Eb said, my name is Greg. I grew up in very south central Pennsylvania, very farm town kind of area. They drove tractors to school, you name it.
Amazing.
Right. Yeah. And then I went to, I studied my bachelor's degree at Liberty University down in South Central Virginia, and then stayed there for medical school as well. I knew I always wanted to be a doctor, and I'm sure we're going to talk about that more. And so I stayed there for medical school, graduated in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic, which was a lot of fun. And then moved to Hampton Roads, where I met Gabe, and started off a beautiful friendship there. Met her here in Newport News, where I'm doing my residency training. And I am in emergency medicine is what my specialty medicine is. Love it very much, and couldn't see myself doing anything else. So I'm very happy to be here on the podcast and to share with you guys.
Sweet.
Yay. Yeah. How much longer do you have in your residency program?
I have one more year. So it's a 3-year training program. Yeah. And I got one more to go.
Oh boy. Big things on the horizon. Man, maybe some of that will come up today. I'm excited. Well, thank you for that killer introduction. Now I'm just picturing you sitting on a tractor as like a 6-year-old taking yourself to school, right? That's probably what happened. No. Greg, we would love to get started by asking what makes you come alive?
There's, a lot of things make me come alive, but the biggest one right now that I've been experiencing day to day is medicine and is practicing medicine. It's a long journey to get here, but I truly love what I do. I truly love helping people feel better. I truly love making people's day, telling them, giving them answers if I can give them answers. Sometimes I have to tell them I don't have an answer, but at least get to meet new patients, meet new people, meet families, talk with them. It's a hard, I wouldn't call it a hobby necessarily, but it does make me come alive. But it does have its moments, where sometimes maybe medicine doesn't solve the issue, but I love being there just the same to help families transition and cope and discover, what their body's telling them. So
that's good.
It's hard, but it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing it. So
that's awesome. It's definitely important to feel like that lights you up if that's what you're going to do for your career, for your profession, and to know that at this age and stage of your life, that this is something that can just launch you for the rest of your life to be able to do. I don't know. I think it's a real gift to like kind of land, I guess, big air quotes there. Like you worked your butt off to get to where you are, but like to land in something that is so in alignment with who you are and what really does give you life and everything. But you did say that lots of things light you up. Is there stuff outside of your day-to-day, outside of your what your main focus is these days, outside of those 40 hours a week? I'm sure it's way more than that, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. little bit. That's okay. But when I do get out of the hospital, I love to be outside. I love going on adventures. I love traveling. I know Gabe and we just met up in Spain casually.
Casually met up in Madrid.
Just
what I
a
love
weekend.
to do.
Salsa dancing and churros, the
Right.
whole shebang.
Love it.
I love hosting people at my house. I love having people over for dinners or ice cream socials. we have Sundays. It's a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, I need to add that to my calendar.
Me too.
Like, why is that not a part of my life?
I know.
Yeah.
Like every resident I can find, I'm like, come over for ice cream. We're doing it. So
Yeah.
very much enjoy that. Very much enjoy cooking and baking and
Amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, Greg is a great host. Let me just put this out there. So I was introduced to Greg through my best friend Kelly. And Kelly's like, you guys are going to go along so well. You're going to be such great friends. We're going to be like three amigos. And so whenever we come over and hang out with Greg, over the time that we were all together in the Hampton Roads area before she went off to the UK and I left for Spain, we left, Greg all by himself. Anytime we would come over, he would have like our favorite things just waiting there for us, our favorite snacks, our favorite beverages. Like he would just have them there. He's just an excellent host. And you can tell that it really makes him feel good to like have others feel like they're, seen and cared for and he's paying attention.
Yeah. Just those details. That's awesome.
Not to brag on my friend or anything, but just throwing out a big brag there.
But he's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. I'm also just sitting over here trying to calculate how far away I am from where you are in Virginia. Is that too far for a day trip so I can come down for Sundays?
Never. You are always welcome. I always have ice cream on hand, even if it's not a Sunday.
Oh my gosh. Amazing.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I
Love
never
it.
knew that ice cream could be what it was until I was introduced to Turkey Hill ice cream.
Ooh, yes. That's right
Have
down the
you
road
had it,
from
Victoria?
me. Yeah.
Wait,
it's right
what?
here. It is literally right down the road from me.
I had
The
no
Turkey Hill
idea.
experience. I know. I didn't either. The things you learn.
Oh my gosh. Well, now that you were there, I'm
I
gonna
know.
come see you.
Yeah, we might be coming to
Now.
you, Kayla.
There's a whole experience, you guys. I had no
Amazing.
idea about any of this stuff. I just see this like Turkey Hill brand now that we moved to Pennsylvania. And I was like, what even is this? And it's literally like 15 minutes from me where it's
Yep.
made.
Yeah.
The cows.
And
It's cows.
I may have the whole state of Texas come after me for saying this, but I thought Bluebell was something good. And then I tried Turkey Hill. And I was like, oh shoot.
Row.
Oh no. I've been trying to convince Greg to mail me some Turkey Hill. Like that's not even possible, but I just texted him one day. I was like, can you mail me some Turkey Hill? Some chocolate and peanut butter ice cream. So good.
Is it the same if it comes mailed to you in the form of a text message picture?
Oh, no, I feel like that's torture.
Yeah, I feel that's kind of worse.
It's kind of the worst.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, so I know something a little bit about Greg, but tell me about like your outdoor, like what you like about the outdoors and like what things the outdoors like light you up.
Oh man, so I grew up doing Boy Scouts all through
There it is.
all through growing up as a kid. So you name it outdoors and I'd be there, hiking, biking outside, going on adventures. My absolute favorite thing is bonfires. There's anything greater in life than being around a bonfire with your friends. And
No,
more,
there's nothing greater.
Nothing greater. So, but also I love doing things on the water. I love going to the beach. I don't live too far right now, so I love being out there. Just listening to the ocean is just, it's just very relaxing. Man, you name it, I could do it. I've gone skydiving, I've gone parasailing.
Yikes.
This is the best.
Goodness.
Like makes me come alive because my heart is racing, but it's fine.
Because I'm like having to sign a waiver.
Heart's still going.
If I lose a limb,
still doing it.
Or die.
It's okay. I know what to do if it all goes wrong. So
that's true. That's true. Anytime I go to do something super dangerous, I'm just going to make sure that you're around. Like the skydiving thing.
My emergency doctor.
I brought my emergency doctor with me. That's great. Oh, I love all of those things.
Yes.
So our next question for you, Greg, is what inspires or encourages you to live a life fully alive, like to spend time investing in those things?
Yeah. So, it's a big question because I have so many different things that make me come alive. And I could talk about a couple of them if you'd have the time.
Bring
The
it.
one that I'll talk about medicine first, just because that has become a big focus of a lot of my time. And a lot of people ask me, they say, well, how did you know you're going to be a doctor? How did you know, like, this is what you wanted to do? And really, I don't have a great answer for that, unfortunately. I always knew that I was going to be a doctor. I always had that inclination. I think there was about a 30-second pause where I wanted to be a fire truck as a kid. And that dream quickly faded, or got squashed rather, but then it was right back to medicine. And I just, helping people has always been a huge passion of mine. And so medicine just seemed to fit the bill. I couldn't really think of any occupation that could have a greater benefit to others and to the world. And it's a way that I can, personally, step into hard situations in people's lives and truly bring either peace or clarity or answers or not answers. And I just think it's so powerful. When I was when I knew about, emergency medicine specifically, it's a kind of a niche specialty, if you will. And that, what really inspires me to continue doing what I'm doing, even in light of all the global pandemics that have occurred during my short time in medicine, has been a situation when I was in high school. I was getting ready to start my 9th grade year of high school, and my father had unexpectedly, passed away. There was no real answers, no real explanation for it. His time had been called, and he was ready to go. And so obviously it was a very, horrific situation for our family. But in that moment, we were at the emergency department, and the doctor, came into us, and in a moment where we just had so many questions, so much uncertainty, so much the emotions, he stepped in and brought, what I really can't describe very much, but other than just an absolute sense of peace and clarity and strength, that this guy, who I look at myself now and I know from, just a little experience, that he spent his whole life preparing to do medicine. And still sometimes medicine fails. And that's where humanity comes in, and humanity takes over whenever you just have to be a human with another, with a family, and just cry with them and hold them and, try to reassure, but, just being there. And that moment for me was so inspirational. This guy that I didn't know, I don't even know his name. I should know his name. I should go back and find out who he was and thank him, because he really inspired a lot of what I do right now. There was a situation a couple months ago where I had to give very similar news to a family, and of the similar news that I received, which was, we don't have an answer, and I'm incredibly sorry. And it was such a full circle moment that in that moment it was sad, but afterwards I was never prouder to do what I do, and never prouder to be in those situations for these people. It just, it keeps me going, that's what we do. We are humans all here together, just trying to get, and it just, that's a big part, a big inspiration. That's what I keep looking back to.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's huge. Even what you were saying, we might not have the answers, but just recognizing that we're all here together. What greater thing is there than to love and have compassion for each other in these moments when we're all trying to freaking figure this out. And you might have more education than the people sitting in the hospital there, but the best thing that you can do for them is sit there and cry with them in that moment, or hold that, I don't know, that compassion is just it's massive. For me, that is really lighting me up, just listening to your story and knowing that it did get to be a beautiful full circle moment for you. And there will be so many of those in the future, I mean, hopefully not, so many, but you know,
Right. But
the
it's a
fact that
reality.
it's you,
Like,
yeah. I just think it's such a gift that you get to continue to give
yeah.
what you're,
I think
what
Michaela Fridge
that
is here
doctor.
for just
Oh
a second.
no. Am I frozen?
Sorry. You might need to go back like a sentence or two. Sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. Thanks for catching that.
Yes, no problem.
Technology's awesome.
You were saying you were hoping that there wouldn't be more of that.
Yeah, too many more of those. But I do think it still is, it's incredible that it's almost like this ripple effect of that doctor who met with you all those years ago, and who knows who might have met with him and his family, you know, years prior or whatever. But it's that, like, through that situation, you have been inspired to then go out and show up in this same exact way of not just being a doctor, but being a doctor filled with compassion and love, which is a huge difference.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm.
Man.
I know, sorry, a little heavy.
No, but in like a
No,
really
but it's
awesome
it's
way.
it's something that can, it's a cause for pause. Like, I think a lot of times we think that like inspirational things are like, okay, that's the fire, to get me going. And you like kind of thrust out from that inspiration or that encouragement. But sometimes the inspiration is a cause to pause and like reflect and to have it like sit deeply within you. And I think, being able to pause and like, take all of that in, you'll remember it longer. It'll stay with you longer. It'll continue to motivate you. Yeah.
Man, I like that one. Cause for pause.
Cause for pause.
Mm.
Copyright.
Yeah. At Gabe the Girl. TM.
Future Instagram post. Cause
Oh my
for pause.
gosh.
What's your cause for pause? She takes a sip from her kombucha.
But seriously, yeah, girl. Man. I mean, I think that it's really profound. And I feel like we all probably have causes for pausing, grammar, without even realizing it. And I think that you just brought up such a good point. And like, Greg, that story is obviously causing us all to pause because it's so profound and so meaningful for you personally, but also like the fact that you're just sharing this openly with us and all of our listeners. Like, it's pretty incredible. Like, to me, it's just inspiring to hear all of this, of what inspires you. I'm now inspired to go out and like not go get a medical degree by any means. Let's be real here.
Oh, come on.
But inspired to see, like, where can I show more compassion today? Where can I show up in the little ways in somebody's life that might actually mean so much more to them than I ever realized? And knowing that for you, like, sitting with these families goes so much further than you as a doctor might ever realize. And it's because you experience the other end of it. And oh my gosh, it's fine. I'm not crying over here.
Yeah, it's a circle moment, big full circle.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
We all have ways, and that's, not just medicine, but throughout life there are so many ways that we can be, not just kinder to one another, but truly, like you said, like, have compassion on somebody and take a pause with someone. Truly ask them, we in passing we say, hey, how was your day, like, nice to see you, whatever, and keep walking. But what are those conversations actually saying to people, and does that make them feel heard, and does it make them feel valued and validated? Or it's small things, small gestures of kindness, I think, can make this world a much better place.
Yes, it totally can. Oh my gosh, amazing. All right, kind of segueing, not really, because that was just like a solid mic drop point of like, it is the little things. So what challenges have you faced personally in pursuing this kind of living in a way that is fully alive, fully lit up?
Yeah. So within medicine specifically, it's a very, very long, difficult road to get there. But like we talked about, those like internal motivators were just strong enough to get through. But challenges academically, it's college, it's many years, it's medical school, it's many exams and tests. And I was told through that multiple times that, Greg, your scores aren't good enough, your grades aren't good enough, like you should just stop, like um don't don't attempt this, like don't try to go for emergency medicine, like you'll never make it with these scores, are you kidding me?
Wow.
And I was met with a lot of negativity, unfortunately. But there on only a couple occasions, for the most part, I was surrounded by very, very encouraging people, kept me going in spite of those few bits of negativity. And yeah, the one specifically was that during the process of medical school, you have to take all these examinations or whatnot, and I was told that I didn't have a chance with emergency medicine. Too bad, just go into something else. And I took that to heart, and had a whole I call it my Elle Woods moment. I knew, like, no, this is really what I think I'm designed for and what I'm built for. And this is truly where I thrive in medicine, and what I feel like I've been best equipped and prepared to do is emergency medicine. Like I really think so. And I had a lot of conversations with people that I trust and my mentors, within my church and within school, who are all, told me, go for it. Like, if this is what you want to do, like you have to do it. And by golly, they took me. So, but there have been, moments of that, which is just, it's hard. It's hard to hear those conversations. And I think, I don't think they were trying to be malicious by any means. I think they were trying to be realistic, which I think we all need an equal balance of those voices to be heard, is the ones who inspire you and encourage you, and those who give you a reality check, like that was valid. But for someone who's just trying to make it, like it was not what I wanted to hear that day.
Right. Well, and I think that that's a great point, that like everybody hears that stuff every single day. Like we are constantly, hopefully, hearing some encouragement, but like probably a lot of the reality check stuff. And like, I guess what was it that you found to be most helpful when you faced those challenges, like in overcoming adversity? I don't mean to use that loosely, but like those were some really tough reality checks when you are actively pursuing this big dream of yours. What was it that you found most helpful?
Yeah. The most helpful bit, I think, kind of like what we talked about, are those internal motivators. Are those times in my life where I knew from like a deep place, deeply rooted, like in my soul, that this is what you're built for. And let no man come between that which you are built to do. I don't know what many of your listeners or the podcasts out there believe in. I fully believe that we are built for something much greater than just this world. And I knew that, I believe that God has designed me to do medicine and to do emergency medicine, with these skills and with this past and with everything. That's really what got me through the rigor of it all. Part of my story as well, after everything that happened in high school, was then having to live high school without a father. And that had its own challenges as well. And in many ways in that regard was also faced with adversity and faced with being at a disadvantage, being faced with, financial constraints as a 14-year-old, having to pay my own insurance. Like what is that? But that was what I was faced with. And, I always turn to, I always turn to my faith, and I always turn to what I believe to be true, is that, we are all built and designed for a purpose, and nothing's going to get in the way with that. And we did that. So why not keep going? What is holding me back now? We've already come so far, that I just really believe that if I kept my head down and kept, pushing forward, that things would happen. Not, the way that they were supposed to happen, but I truly believe that it would happen. So
I love that.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much adversity in this world, and so many challenges, but I think surrounding yourself by people who are like-minded, and surrounding yourself with people who are going to encourage you and motivate you, being open and honest with them about what you truly want, I think is a big step of that, and having them behind you there's nothing stronger. So
Yeah. You've got to tell people about your big dreams, and you've got to get really vulnerable about how much you want them. And you've got to have people that are going to check in with you and are going to give you really good constructive criticism. Like, people that are going to be, are going to have your back, but also look you in the face and go like, hey, like, here's where you're at. What are you going to do? Like,
yeah,
absolutely.
Good community.
They're real.
Yeah.
They have to happen.
Yeah, definitely. So for anybody that would be looking to, is listening to your story and is looking to make a change in their lives, is looking to, pursue their dreams or pursue that calling, or maybe finds themselves in the same boat where they're kind of looking at what's in front of them going like, okay, well, is this even possible? Like, if I feel like I was meant to do this, like, what kind of encouragement or wisdom nugget could you give to anyone who's like, I want to pursue doing this because I feel like this is what will make me feel fully alive? And
so I think the biggest thing, especially within medicine itself, it is a big commitment. So I admire and I love hearing people when they say, I think I want to do medicine. Like, I think I want to do this thing. Like, I love that. I live for it, because finding someone with the same passion as you it's an ember to another ember, and it just bursts into flame. And it's just really, really cool to see someone else excited to do what you do every day. I would highly encourage people to, get involved as best they can, shadow somebody, go rotate through a hospital, or find a doctor who you can say, hey, can I just shadow you for a day and see what you do? I know most people are most doctors are very excited about having people come shadow them. And that's the big first step, because you do have to realize that it's a lot to do. And I never want to discourage anyone, but if I also don't want anyone to get halfway through it and go, ooh, nope, wrong. Because that's also not pivot. So I would definitely say, get involved, get your head in there, try to see what it's like, because it's a very different perspective, from the outside of what medicine is versus what a day-to-day life looks like. And then after that, like we said, surround yourself with people who know that this is your dream. Come up with a game plan and stick to it. Like, it is so worth it on the other side. I had in that as well. I would encourage people to, write down why you're doing this. Okay. So there are so many reasons why people may want to do medicine, and not all of them are going to get you through. So I know I wrote myself a couple letters throughout the process. I had a lot of come to Jesus moments with myself and with Jesus about what, why we're doing this thing. What is the whole point behind this? People do it for money sometimes, and that's not enough. People do it for fame sometimes, and that's not enough. It won't get you there. It won't get you through the nights of studying and of test taking. Like, that, it's not that isn't worth it. It's on the other side, but it's not worth it.
Right.
So I would definitely encourage people to physically write out, why am I doing this? What's my statement? Like, what's my purpose? In the process of medical school and whatnot, we have to write personal statements all the time to help self-check that. Statements or what have you. And when you sit down to write one of those things, it's daunting, because you're trying to put your whole life in, one single-sided page, and that's hard, but it's so much easier whenever you know what you're doing. It's an easy letter to write.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. And I love how universal, like you saying that is, like you're investing, more than just time, more than just, finances, more than saying no to things that you don't have the time for or whatnot. You are investing a part of you, or many parts of you, into pursuing your dreams. And so, your encouragement, yes, for the medical field, that's amazing. And I mean, I've seen you work your tail off, in the last year, and just what I've been able to observe, and worth it, because I'm gonna brag on Greg, but he is now going to be stepping in as a resident, right?
Chief resident.
Chief resident.
Woo! Chief.
Chief resident. Or sorry, chief resident. Sorry, he's already in residency. He is chief resident. He's going to be chief resident. So,
dang.
Yeah,
Awesome.
You can do it too.
Yeah.
So anyway,
there really is power in getting clear on your why, and like knowing what your vision is, like where you really want to go and why. You can't have just one or the other. Man, I'm gonna do this exercise right after this.
Get clear on your why, and then share your why with other people. People you trust.
Yes.
Yeah.
People you trust is important.
Let it get scary. Like, let it get big. If you're settling with your dreams, why bother? Like, get big, get scary.
What a nugget.
Awesome. Mic drop. I'm not dropping my mic this time.
And with that.
Thank you so much, Greg, for sharing your story, for opening up to us and to like our audience. And golly, I mean, I already knew you, and I'm continually inspired by what you're doing. And I know Michaela said that she's inspired as well. I hope all of you out there that are listening have found some sort of inspiration from Greg's story and the things that make him feel come alive. Maybe you're experiencing a challenge that is similar, but get clear on your why. If you would like to get in touch with us and tell us a little bit about what struck you in this episode, or if you have a question for us or for Greg, you can write that in the comment section on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, as we have posted this episode. Feel free to drop us on Anchor a audio message, and be sure to follow up with us next week as we come through with another episode for you guys.
Yes. See you guys next week.
All right.
Thanks again, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to So What Makes You Come Alive. We're so inspired by the conversations we get to have with everyday humans about what lights them up and how to love the story they're living. We hope that you feel just as inspired too.
Interested in getting in on the inspiration? Click the link in our Instagram bio @ThriveFullyAlive and select the option for The One About You. Be our guest. Remember to tune in each week for a new episode where we explore what it looks like to get back to living our best story, where we hope that your favorite story becomes your own.